Jai Hind everyone. Today we are going to discuss the saga of unsung heroes who are thriving to save lives. This new series, Human Heroes in Health. Let me introduce today's hero, a future doctor, Sathvika Reddy. Welcome, Sathvika.
Thank you, Dr. Milan. Hi, everyone. I am Sathvika. I'm studying in final year MBBS student, AIMS Guwahati.
मेरा पहला सवाल आपसे ये है कि आप कहाँ और कब पैदा हुए?
Okay. I was born on 8th March 2004 and I was born and brought up in Kalilwadi, Nizamabad, Telangana. So it was a nuclear family. My mom, Dr. Swarupa Reddy, my father, Dr. Srinivas Reddy, and I have a younger sister who is 2 years younger to me, Shailika Reddy. So it was a nuclear
Okay.
family. Apart from that, overall, our family was very big. Even our mother's side and father's side, we had many relatives and cousins who were all very loving and caring. So this was my family. But
Fine. So, was this a childhood dream wherever you are today? Is this your childhood dream? Or uh, later on in life, with circumstances, this inculcated in your mind to become a doctor?
no, it was not a childhood dream because during my childhood, I just aspired to become or have a life like my parents. From my younger time, I've seen my parents about how good life they had, a good home, a good family. Every year they used to go on a trip. Every holidays we would visit our grandparents. No matter how busy they are in their lives, they always used to manage their time very well, that they had time for all our relatives, to attend every function and balance everything. So becoming a doctor was not my childhood dream, but eventually with the growing years, I've seen that my interest is mostly towards biology. So that's how I have discovered that I want to become a doctor.
Would you like to tell us something about your preschool age childhood?
So my childhood was very good and was very memorable according to me. Actually, uh, during my childhood years, initially it was just a simple routine: getting up early, going to the school, then coming back, attending tuition. After tuition, we would either go for a dance class or a swimming class, and then have dinner or sleep. Once a year, every time we used to go for a trip outside India, and at our holidays, we used to go to our father's town, visit our grandparents, visit all our relatives, and all my cousins were very loving that during my birthday and my sister's birthday, they used to come to my home. So my childhood was all around my family, my relatives, friends. It was really a small world, but very wonderful.
Fine. How about your primary school days?
My primary school was in Nizamabad only. It was Vishvodaya High School. Uh, those days, even though I only remember bits and pieces of those days, I know that those days had a lot of innocence and lots of moments which I'll be cherishing throughout my life. Even though I'm not in contact with my primary school friends, because at those time we never used to have phones, and my mother was so strict that I couldn't go to anyone's home too. But yes, those days were very good and precious, very wonderful.
So, what after that? What after that?
After
Middle
that,
school or school?
after that, I had for my high school, I was shifted. I mean, I joined a hostel in Hyderabad. It was DRS International School. Uh, Coming to that school changed a lot of things. It was for the first time I was staying away from my parents. It was my first time being in a hostel. I never thought I would do it, but I did it. I stayed away from my parents, and there it was a very different thing. Apart from studies, I was exposed to a lot of things like dance, music, sports, and I love used to playing sports. I really remember the time used to just pass when it was sports hour. I used to play throw ball, basketball, badminton. and all of this stuff. I was really into dance too. I made sure that I never missed an annual day function of dance in all my high school
Okay.
years. And then I had my intern in Sri Chaitanya.
Fine. Like what you said, you moved out of your house for the first time. This was a period. So, didn't you face any homesickness when you moved out of your house for the first time?
The homesickness was always present. I mean, at that time, for the first time when I joined the hostel, on that day when my mother was leaving, I didn't feel anything. But the next day when I went to school, I don't know, I started crying eventually because
Okay.
I was so homesick. I was not understanding what was going around me. So many new things once at a time. But homesick was something which I even feel today. Even today, when I go home and come back, I'm always, unless and until I speak with everyone here and settle down, I always feel homesick.
How about your hostel life? Because this was the period for the first time in your life when you moved to a hostel. Would you like to tell us something about that?
Hostel life, our hostel was actually good. I mean, the only problem was with warden because she always used to have complaints with us. Apart from that, I had small circle, 3 to 4 friends. So we used to hang out. We used to talk before going to sleep. We used to share everything. Uh, I remember those days when to avoid jogging, we used to hide in our cupboards, or we used to sneak in some biryanis because food was not allowed in the hostel. So all these things, there are many memories in hostel too. We used to have those rats in the hostel. We used to keep complaining, but they never used to go. So all these stuff.
Fine. You also mentioned about dance classes.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us what dance classes you had joined and you were, if it was some classical or what type of dance classes?
So from actually childhood, apart from school, we would normally attend these Western dance classes just to pass the time, as it would really interest me and my sister. But after coming to high school, we used to have separate classes for dance. So it was not only for fee, but everyone of our class was supposed to involve in that dance class, and we used to have 2 dance classes in a week. So I really love to dance, and it's my favorite hobby, and I'll keep it throughout my life. And
That's good.
even in annual day functions, I remember I have never missed a function without dancing. Every function I had danced. It was Western dance because classical was too hard and I couldn't do it.
Okay. So how was your inter school life, college life? Would you
My
like to tell us something?
my inter was in Sri Chaitanya. Those 2 years of my life went very fast. It's because Sri Chaitanya is a place where we are only meant to study. Apart from that, there was no other motive. Eat, sleep, and study. These three are the only things I've done for all those 2 years. I was literally completely away from the world. Even with my family, I haven't spoken much in those days. I haven't met anyone much in those days. And I remember after my 11th class, after my plus one got completed, there was COVID. So all of us had to go home. And going home means putting aside studies. It was that time where my marks gradually dropped and I couldn't unlock my full potential at that time. It was only before 2, 3 months before the NEET exam, they had called again few students in the college. Then I went to the college, I studied, I was able to get back my pace, and then I cracked the exam.
So would you like to tell us something about, well, when you were during those inter college days, when you were studying for inter and as well as for your pre-medical exam, am I right?
Yes, sir, NEET exam. NEET.
NEET exam simultaneously.
Mm.
This is what I read. So while doing so, did you face any weightage of competition, peer pressure, or societal expectations?
Competition was something which I had been experiencing from my childhood. I mean, if I had to perform well in academics, even if I had to win any sports competition, competition was present with me throughout the life. It was in different phases of my life how I handled the competition. I mean, in my primary school, it was about coming first, coming first, coming first is only important. But it was in my high school, I remember the definition of competition there was has completely changed for me. Because if I mean, even in academics, it was if there was some part of subject which I had to complete, I used to plan, I used to prepare timetables. So that because I know how I study, I know in how much time I can cover the syllabus. So it was all about me whether before the exam I'm able to cover the syllabus. Even if I don't cover the syllabus, I make sure that I stay up 2, 3 nights before the exam and I complete the syllabus. That much confidence I had in myself so that after writing the exams, I have no regrets. And sleep didn't matter to me at that time that much because I felt I had my entire life to sleep. So no matter what, I did hard work at that time and I used to compete more with myself than with others. And peer pressure, I never faced peer pressure. But yeah, looking at my friends, I used to get motivated. I mean, when I'm demotivated and I didn't feel like study, when I see my friends studying, it used to motivate me a lot to study. That was the only thing why I couldn't study when I went home. Because I know everybody is enjoying, and if they asked me to study alone in a room, I couldn't. And about
Fine.
social expectations, there were only two members, my parents, my mother and father, who I wanted to make proud. And I made sure till now that whatever I did, I had made them proud.
So, what are those values or lessons you are still carrying from those days, even now, or would you like to carry forward in future also?
I remember during my high school, we used to have these placards on walls having different quotes. So there was this one quote which I used to love very lot. It was written, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." I know I didn't have talent with me, but I work very hard. I've seen my father also working very hard, and I think I have inculcated this habit from him. But from the beginning itself, I used to work very hard to get what I want. So this was one quality which has uh, made me who I am today, and I'll carry this throughout my life till the end. Apart from that, there was also this anecdote once when we went out to a adventure park somewhere outside India. So there, when we had to come back, I remember the bus would start at 7, and it was 6:40. So my father was insisting that we all have to head back, otherwise the bus will leave and we won't be able to get the next bus. But I was forcing him, let's go attend another ride and then go. Let's go attend another ride. We still have 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Um, my father usually doesn't scold me, but at some times when he scolds, I usually remember it throughout my life. So on that day, he scolded me, he shouted at me, telling, if you miss this bus, you won't get any other bus. So remember, every time in life, you have to be before time. If they say it's 7, you have to be there like 6:50 or 6:45. And I remember we started searching for the bus at 6:40 and we reached the bus at 6:58.
Okay,
And the bus started sharp at 7 o'clock and it didn't even wait for any passenger there.
good,
So, yeah, so there were few such values which I will remember and take it throughout my life.
fine. From school days, do you have any such memories or feel close to your heart, and would you like to cherish those memories?
In school days, I remember it was in my primary school. It was the last day in my sixth standard. It was the last day, and we were in a bus, and it was almost, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes away from my stop. They had got to know that it was my last day. I was shifting school, and I was going to a new school. So I remember there were few of my friends, few of my seniors. They started singing, dancing. really made my day that day. They made my farewell so memorable. They made me sing on that day. They were dancing, they were shouting. So it was really good. I really would cherish that moment throughout my life, what they had done for me on that day. And after that, in my high school, I was actually very good at throw ball. I used to love playing that game a lot. So I remember in hostel we had a intra throw ball competition. So in two teams, I was the captain of one team. So I chose all my friends. We all were in one team, and the opposite team, the captain, she was a national player. She had played at nationals, and she was at our school. My only aim was to beat her. And I remember it was best of two. We had to win two matches out of the three. It was 1-1 and it was a tie. And the last match, oh God, it was so pressure. I was under so pressure. But at last we won the match, and that was the day I never forget. And having all my friends in my team made the happiness two times, three times, that I'll never forget that win in my life. After that, I never had such type of win in my life, but that win was so, so good.
Okay.
That is one moment which I'll never forget.
While you were preparing for your medical entrance, did you encounter any hurt while preparation?
Uh, After after writing my NEET entrance,
While preparing for your entrance?
okay,
Like
while
for
preparing,
social,
while preparing for my
uh,
entrance, uh, as I told, after my plus one, there was this COVID pandemic where I had to go home, and things changed suddenly for everyone. Suddenly, offline classes had become online classes. We had to attend Zoom meetings and then go to the classes. So at that time, it was really difficult for me to even concentrate, to even understand the topic, to even unlock my potential, my full potential that I had. And I was not even motivated actually. Even though I tried my level best, I couldn't get my motivation when I was at home. So it was only 2 to 3 months back before the exam. I mean, 2 to 3 months before the exam, I went back to the college. Then I had my friends, I had my teachers and all. They guided me very well. I was able to get my pace back. And then I had given the exam. I remember even before the exam, NEET exam, usually when I had to appear for any final exam in any of the classes, I have this habit of listening all the best from my parents. So before the NEET exam, I was thinking, what should I tell them? I told them that I'll perform well. I gave them a target that I'll try to score above this target and I'll try to get a good college no matter what. I was so thinking about how to. I mean, they were also sure that I will receive a college, I will get into a good college. But yeah, that was one such moment. And after the exam, I remember it was entirely my father who was looking out according to my score, which rank I'll get, which college I have to go, what should be the order of colleges we have to place. It was entirely my father who was researching on it, who had been talking with everyone, all my teachers, all his friends, inquiring whether this college is good or not,
but while
and all.
preparing for medical entrance, when you had to work hard, literally day in and out, like this is a saying that the medical students who are preparing, especially for those entrance exam, they study a lot, like 20 hours a day, probably. So this rigorous hard work and your academic preparations and personal well-being, how you maintain that equilibrium or balance?
Sir, in those inter years in plus one and plus two, like I said, the college I was in, Sri Chaitanya, it was totally NEET oriented. It was, you had to focus only on MCQs, study, study, study. I mean, we used to have study hours, 2 hours study hours in the morning, then 1 hour lunch break, 1 hour for breakfast, then again 4 to 5 hours, then 1 hour break, then again 5 hours. I mean, it was completely about studying, studying, those type of colleges. And and I couldn't study for such long. So I used to, even after 1 to 2 hours, I used to just walk around the class, go to my friends, talk to them, make sure that I'm not bored or I'm not dehydrated or drained out with studying, and then come back and sit again and study. Because I know that environment is stressing for everyone. Looking at your friends continuously studying and you not being able to pick up that pace, that peer pressure, it obviously creates a different kind of stress, and you won't have your parents at that time. And even the teachers around there, their only motive is to clear your doubts, that's it. But nobody even looks into the mental well-being, that mental physical well-being that a person requires during that point of time. But I used to maintain my mental health. I used to go talk with my friends, either with my family or anyone I found. I never really took stress for those studies. Even though I had to work hard late night, but I would take breaks, at least 4 to 5 breaks every time. But I even made sure that the break doesn't get prolonged a lot, that I ignored my studies completely. But yes, I used to take breaks. I used to speak with people around them. That used to really relax me a lot. And we didn't even have phones there. So we couldn't even scroll through our phones or talk whenever we want. And I remember there was one small ground, so I used to go walk in that ground for some time whenever I was so drained out. So these were some of the few ways how I managed the pressure I felt there.
Fine. So, if you were asked to encapsulate your pre-medical journey in a single word or phrase, how would you like to explain it?
Uh, if I had to describe my entire journey, I would say it was memorable, really memorable for me, because throughout my journey, I had experienced a wide range of emotions. There was happiness, there was sadness, there was challenges, there was very much hard work, pressure, and throughout my time, I had my family to support me, to listen to me when I had some problem, and even when I wanted to eat something, even though my college was far from my home, around 2.5 hours, they used to come meet me every time, once a month. So there were many moments, many things I felt throughout my journey, and every moment was precious enough that I would cherish it throughout my lifetime. So I'd say that it
Yeah,
was memorable.
fine. As we know that you are in fourth year, and probably next year you will be in final year, and definitely the way you are going, you will be definitely successful. And after that, you will be known as doctor. For sure, you will be a doctor, Satvika. But had just imagination, out of imagination, had you not been a doctor, did you ever thought of anything else, being something else in your life? Any alternate career?
Actually, at that point of time, at 10th and 12th, I really didn't put much thought in my career. Everything just went on with flow, and I had become a doctor. Now that I think, if I hadn't been a doctor, what I would be, I would most probably be an interior designer. Interior designer, or maybe if not interior designer, a shoe designer or designing cars. Something like that would my hobby. And I mean would be my work. And if that didn't work, I would be maybe some scientist working in NASA, manufacturing some rocket, something of that sort. I would be doing something like that. Sometimes I even think, if in first attempt, if my NEET would not clear, what would I do? Like, I've seen many friends, they take an year back, they go for long term, they study for one more year, the same syllabus, and come write their exams. I really salute those people, but I don't think I would have given the exam one more year. I would have gone through the same syllabus, study again if I didn't get my NEET exam. I would have shifted my course and I would have invested my time in some other course if I wouldn't crack my NEET exam in first attempt.
Fine. Excellent. Definitely, but for sure, now you are going to become a doctor. So, no scope for interior designing. Anyway, if today retrospectively seen, had you been that meeting the same Satvika, though in those days, from those days, you are meeting old Satvika, what or how would you like to counsel her?
There are a lot of things I would tell her. If I meet my younger self, I would tell her the first and the most important thing is to trust yourself.
Okay,
Trust yourself and be confident with yourself. Because
confident.
I remember back then I was very bad at decision making. I mean, I couldn't tell, even if someone asked me, do you like that fruit? Do you like that color? To tell that answer also, I would hesitate a lot. I would look into others. If others say pink, okay, I will also say pink. So that was my condition. I would really counsel her to believe in herself, have a clarity of right and wrong, and only your decision matters, not the others, not the surrounding noise. I would really counsel her for that. And also, I was a very curious person from the beginning, but I was a very lazy person also. So I would tell her to get
Well,
out of the
I believe
bed,
you.
get out of that comfort zone, and know the real world outside. I
Right.
was in that small world, family, friends, and all, but I would tell her to come
Pond,
out of a comfort zone and interact with everyone to know how the real world works outside.
getting out of that pond.
Hmm.
Right. So yes, I do agree that nowadays we there is a change or shift in education system. Recently, we have seen with the newer education system. Yes, I do agree that it has changed, but had you given that opportunity to you, had you had that opportunity to change the education system of India, for especially for those candidates or persons or kids who want or wishes to become doctors, engineers, or various other professionals, what change would you like to do for them in education system of India?
So one such thing is I'd like to remove this system of reservation.
Okay.
Because I feel a person after working hard day and night, scoring such good marks, and not able to receive a seat in the college which he wants just because he doesn't belong to that category. I
Okay.
don't think this is fair from any point of view which we see. The person has worked that much and he couldn't receive the one he wants just because he doesn't belong to that category. This is so unfair. So reservation is one thing I think India has to change in its education system. And apart from that, uh, during my, as I told you, my inter, which I was in Sri Chaitanya, I heard from my parents' time that the same thing has been going on. If the person has to become a doctor, you have to join them in those colleges. They're going to study and then they become a doctor. But I guess the amount of stress and the mental health pressure that students face there, nobody understands that. So that thing has to change, that from morning to night, the child is only eating and studying, and apart from that, is not doing anything.
Do you envision contributing to the field of medical education in future, like by mentoring or guiding next generation of doctors or aspirants who are as of now preparing for medical entrance?
Yes, given the opportunity, if I get the opportunity to mentor them or guide them or help them in any way, any possible way I can, I will surely take it, because the journey is too long. First of all, the medical journey is too long, and throughout the journey, we're gonna face some or the other problem. That is for sure. And there are many spots, I mean, there are many blind spots and throughout the journey, which by guiding or mentoring someone, we can make it easier for the person. So that at least the person has an idea about what to do, how to deal with it, or whom to ask when he faces such problem. So given the opportunity, I should surely take that opportunity and guide the other students who want to join the medical profession.
So don't you think this is a good platform or an opportunity to guide those aspirants?
Actually, this is surely a very good platform because many students who are aspiring to become a doctors would surely research, go to the Google, YouTube to check for the videos of any seniors or any mentors who are guiding and counseling step by step how to go through each and every step, even if they face a hurdle, whom to contact, what to do next, so that they don't have to be stuck at that point and move forward, move on throughout their life.
So thank you, Satvika, for being with us, at least for this in this video. And I request you to be present in the next video where we will be discussing your medical life. I mean, the day since you have entered in medical college till today. And for the next episode, we will be discussing what are your future prospects. Till then, Jai Hind.